Welcome everybody back to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Lindsay.
I'm Carson.
And today we are watching Attack on Titan Season 4, Episode 9. 9. What happened last time?
Last time, the exfiltration began, and Sasha was tragically killed by Gabi, and everyone, the fan base erupted into a discussion of whose side are we on? You know, like, is that justified? Is that wrong? Do we care? And what will happen as the story unfolds in Attack on Titan.
Yeah, and with that, we would ask you to please support the official release. Don't come here to watch the show for free. Come here to see what we have to say. Usually we've got a lot to say in these videos. And also, if you like this video, make sure to like it and subscribe and stick around for future stuff. Uncut is on our Patreon. And with that, let's get into it. Attack on Titan, Season 4, Episode 9.
3年前のあの時ならまだ何かを変えられたかもしれない。実態を周りに持ち帰る。
The Recon ships.
Just lifting up the entire boat.
It looks exactly like
problem.
Eren Kruger when but it's a little bit different. Eren Kruger just broke the ship. They're like, he's beaching it. They made him look. Is he normally that big?
I know, he seems way bigger.
That's like, I don't think he's bigger than a ship. He's only 15 meters tall. Mutiny.
The fuck? Just
We're not expecting anyone to take her up on the offer. She was a follower of Zeke's, if you remember.
Yeah. I love all the memes of this song. That's like the first time you listen to this song, like, the fuck is this? And then like, when you keep listening to it and just like...
So how did we get here? You're probably wondering how I ended up here in Marley. Oh, Sasha. He doesn't understand it either. It's so funny.
You did that to yourselves.
Yeah, good job. You must have killed all of them. I guess they haven't killed all the Titans.
あなた方は戦士隊を打ち負かし、さらに超大型巨人や女型の巨人といった主力兵器をマーレは敵の多い国ですので、諸外国は瞬く間に団結し、戦争の火蓋が切られ、するとあなた方がマーレに恨みを持つ潜入する諜報員のようなものなのかな。お、当たり。やっぱりマーレに背くから城建てがないとね。諜報などと呼べるような代物ではありません。マーレに故郷を奪われ、兵士として徴用とても非力で、あの大国に抗う気概は失われ、彼に導かれるまでは。
Zeke.
世界の人々が悪魔では全く別のものに見えた。彼です。無力な私たちに希望を見せてくれました。私たちはジーク・イエガーの命を受け上官を撃った。
I wonder how Zeke like changed his mind. Last we heard, he was completely against freeing Eldians.
Yeah.
Are you still butt chugging former nobles in your basement, sir?
問題を一挙に解決する秘策があると。その秘策を行う条件として必要なものが始祖の巨人と王家の血を引く巨人。二つが揃えば世界は救われる。ただし、するのは条件が揃ってからだ。
What was that look? Oh, we just realized something.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just putting it together. Oh, this is weird. He's acting like he just remembered it. Did you put this together?
Yeah. It's interesting that he didn't think of it.
No, he did though. I'm pretty sure, because that's why he was when he touched Historia when he was accepting his award. He was like, he had that face of like, or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck. The rumbling. Was he just acting surprised so he didn't have to seem like he?
Oh right, he didn't want to.
Yeah. Oh
bring
yeah.
her
He's
into
just,
it.
but he's acting like surprised. He acted surprised there. That was the only.
I guess
thing.
he's surprised that Zeke is willing to, like.
I
thought
guess
of
so.
it
He just
himself.
the way he reacted. It's like, oh, I just remembered this thing. I don't know. That way that's the loophole. He can activate the founding titan without getting the memories
Yeah.
of the first king and becoming a pacifist. Oh my fucking god, dude. It's so, like, terrible. They just think they're going to save people.
Yeah.
They think that they're just going to, like, help their comrades. Is that like a... It's like a common racist thing, like, stereotype that they drink pig piss or something?
ところで、おにゃんぽこんはなんで作ったんですか？
作ったやつは高官だ。いろんなやつがいたと言ってな。
That's pretty funny.
君たちユミルの民も同じさ。俺たちは求められたから存在する。
誰が僕らを作ったの？
始祖ユミルに力を与える神だよ。そう考えるやつもいる。考えるだけなら自由だろ。
Interesting. They get the first introduction to, like, diversity. That there's, like, a bunch of different types of people in the world. There's all this meat just in the sea! Holy shit! Oh. It just means so much to her. Oh, they fully have cartridges now. Before it was all muskets, they had to pack each bullet. Now the technology is advanced to the point where they have, like, modern weaponry already.
I mean, they also got some off of all the ships.
No, for sure. But, like, they seem like they're developing. They probably stole it, actually. You're probably right. Oh yeah, the trains. That's so cool.
に立ちそうなものは何も。
寿命はあと数年もね。
この
あ
エレナたちの作戦通りに進めていいのかな。何か
Is that the herring can
本当にエルディア人を守る
that Ymir had? It looks a little bigger, maybe it's not. True.
話し合えないのかな。マーレや世界中の人と話し合って。
誤解って何のことだよ。
だから僕たちは怖くないって。
世界から見れば俺たちは巨人に化ける可能性。そこに誤解はない。
It's true.
仲良くなれたマーレ人もいる。
何人だ。ほとんどのマーレ兵は収容所の壁を睨みつけてんだろ。
時間が必要だ。
そうだ。時間を稼ぐためには手出しできねえようにしてるんだ。
本当に僕たちは正しかった。
What the fuck? Holy shit, man.
なんでだよ。お前ら何やってたんだよ。飛行船に乗り込んできた子供に撃たれたって。そんなバカな話があるかよ。
ただの女の子じゃない。訓練されていた。
すまない。なんで俺に謝る。俺はただ飯を用意してただけだ。あいつにうまいもんいっぱい食わしてくれてありがとな。ニコラ。どうなんだよ。コニー。では蓋みてえなもんだった。自分が半分なくなっちまったみてえだ。あなたは娘が世話になったようやね。
Oh, that's the girl that she saved in the town.
料理人として就労許可を持っています。娘さんは俺の料理を誰よりもうまそうに食べてくれました。俺の料理を食べに来てください。もちろんただなんやろ。
Nice.
そして死体をマーレに送りつけ、陰謀を明るみに。祖父祖母の命はないだろうな。お前の言う秘策とやらが本物なら、切り刻むのを少し待ってもいい。俺はどちらでも構わない。
If this plan of yours is real, I can't wait to chop you up.
And then he can wait and won't chop him up.
お前に最上級のホテルを用意したんだ。まずはそこでゆっくり休んでいただこう。なあ、睨むのやめてくれないか。
Fuck, Levi's so
Damn, they got a
awesome.
lot of it.
本当に何と感謝を申し上げればよいことか。
Pixis is looking especially gaunt these days. He's aging, I guess. And the new style, obviously. It's just too good to be true, is the thing.
私たちが持ち込んだこの銃はエルディア人に自由をもたらす銃なのに、
我々の弱さにしばしの間だけ目をつぶってくれぬか。ジークに枷をかけぬわけにはいかんのだ。
構いませんよ、ピクシス司令。すぐにまた我々と食卓を囲む日が来ますから。
Yelena is creepy as shit. I always thought, even when I was reading.
Yeah. She's really calm.
She's calm, she's also big. This is the same forest, I think. If it's between Trost and Colonith inside Wall Maria. Jesus, Gabi. Holy fuck. The birth of a psycho. Same as Eren.
エレンに今日最悪の選択になっただろう。とにかく大勢の人間を殺した。僕の道は断たれた。けどやるしかなかった。
We had no choice.
あの日の君 君たちのように。ねえ、ハニー、何か答えてよ。勝てなきゃ死ぬ。勝てば
Oh my god. I didn't even put that part together. Holy shit, there's so much to talk about this episode.
戦わなければ勝てない。戦え。
My fucking god. What a perfect place to leave it. Holy shit. Obviously we've been talking about this whole thing since the beginning of the season and that whole philosophy, but I never put it together that how, like, directly it was stated so early on. For a lot of people, I think the whole Eren and Mikasa killing those guys thing was a red flag. To me, I guess I kind of overlooked it because it was obviously self-defense, but it, like, I never gave it the credence I think it deserved when I was watching for the first time. And, like, since until getting here, that it makes perfect sense. It's like all of season 1 was like that idea of, like, if you want to win, if you want to live, you have to win, and the only way to win is to fight. Because the world is a cruel place, or whatever, Mikasa's whole thing that, like, kept her going. And yeah. And this is literally the exact same thing. It's not, there's no, like, bones about it. It is completely the exact same. The only difference is it's not mindless zombie kaiju, it's fucking people.
Yeah.
Dear Lord, that was an incredible episode.
Yeah. Find out Zeke's, like, just, like, getting the backstory a bit of, like, oh, they just showed up and they'd been, like, already starting to, they'd already kind of decided, like, okay, we're gonna, like, kidnap them off their ships and see what happens here. But then they go along with them and they're like,
yeah, like, Levi and probably most
What?
people were expecting just, like, they already knew they were hated. They were just expecting to, okay, negotiations fell through, time to just unload. Fire, men! Like, and then they just unload on everyone. Ineffectually with their muskets, I guess.
or just, like, capture them
Yeah,
and throw them in jail.
exactly. But I don't think even Hanji seemed like she wasn't expecting them to actually go along with it for Yelena to create a mutiny and then seize control. So fucking cool. There's so much, like, so I haven't read that far past this. I probably only read, like, a couple chapters past this. But I did read this when I was reading in the manga, and I just remember, like, seeing all the, like, them figuring out the technology and getting all that. I'm like, oh, fuck. This, like, that to me was so cool, because, like, a big part of Attack on Titan has been, like, the engineering and the technology and, like, the state of that. So that I've always thought that was really cool, but goddamn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so interesting because they were so isolated. Literally, even, like, seafood, like, they see seafood and they're like, we've been fucking starving in this place for so long.
People, like, most people literally starved to death. Not because there was even, like, a, you know, not that much food. They had enough farming land before the wall was destroyed, obviously, but then the nobles and the concentration of power and everything fucked everything up. And people, like, literally starved to death. After Wall Maria fell, that was most people starved to death by working in fields and then got sent out
because they were just going to starve to death.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And 100,000 soldiers in the Marleyan army. They killed 30,000, by the way, but that is 100,000 is roughly 1/10 of the entire parody population. From what we learned in season 1, if those numbers are legit in the anime, I forget the math that they used, but there was, like, literally slightly more than 1 million people left in the walls. I think before the walls fell. So there was probably less after that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on those numbers, but I think that's roughly true. There was at least, like, a couple million people left in all of the walls. And obviously when you're first introduced to the series, you're like, they're like, all of humanity. This is the last of humanity. And you're like, holy fuck, like 1 million people left in the entire world and they're all here? Holy shit. Anyway.
Yeah.
I just thought that was interesting.
But
just the difference in, like, this is all of the population of Parody. They have 1/10 of that in their army. Anyway.
Well, now it's interesting because they just destroyed pretty much all their ships, a bunch of their soldiers, completely threw them off their guard.
But they're not the only ones with ships, and
But they're not the only ones.
coming.
And now they've just... But then it's just bad because they've just... I mean, everyone was kind of already with Marley on the plan to declare war and go over to the island. But if they weren't before, then they certainly are now.
You literally 9/11'd, like, Marley with, like, every world leader in the World Trade Center. Like, yeah.
Yeah. That's a rough thing. And, yeah. It's just... And then they showed more of Sasha, obviously, because she just died and it was sad.
But she did get to eat some good food.
But she did get to eat some
good food. And
Niccolo...
He's so cool. Like, I love how, like, he's blushing because, like, this really, like, honestly pretty girl is, like, like, so...
devouring this lobster.
Like, just fully consumed. Nothing exists outside of this lobster. This is everything. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny.
And then we saw, we saw the girl that Sasha saved in her town in season 2, episode 2. Mm-hmm. Episode 2?
Yeah.
I think so.
And her dad, obviously, there.
And her mom. We didn't see her mom before.
Yeah, I guess I just assumed that her mom was dead.
I assumed that her mom... Because
so many people have dead parents.
Not only that, like, with her lifestyle, I just assumed that her mom, like, died in childbirth or something. Because they lived... Like, she and her dad lived as hunters out in the forest, like, alone.
Like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, so I had always assumed that she died in childbirth or, like, got sick or had a broken leg and died or some shit. Like, something normal... Still tragic, but, like, not getting eaten by a titan or, like, bombed or anything.
Or, like, trying to escape, but then not escaping.
Like Armin's parents,
Not anything super crazy like that.
Which, by the way, is really understated, I think, in the show. They don't draw enough attention to that. Because they never connected those threads. They fully told you exactly what happened with Armin's parents, and the fact that in the anime he lived with his grandpa at the beginning. But they never, like, spell it. They never connect those dots. They let you do, which I guess is good, but I feel like not a lot of people think about that if they're just watching the show. Anyway, there's so much more to talk about in the show. Like, yeah, first of all, Eren is giant when he's like at that.
I know I guess it depends what area they're in, because when a Titan is standing next to the wall, they don't seem that big.
But
when a Titan is standing next to a and then certain buildings, like if they're standing next to a super tall building, they don't look absolutely massive, but if they're standing next to a boat in the ocean, and then
like
they do, you know what I mean?
It looked like a large ship. That's why, like, maybe but
it
was a scout ship, right?
It wasn't absolutely
it's meant for
speed
ship. And reconnaissance.
It's not like it was a cruise ship out here.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe I overstated the amount and the perspective. I think what I was getting at with that wasn't that, like, oh, that's dumb. That's a weird animation choice. It was more like they're, like, framing him up to be large, this imposing figure is what I was trying to say. Mm-hmm. But we got more insight into Yelena. She's like, she venerates Zeke as a fucking god.
Yeah, this is what makes her kind of scary, is if you view someone as a god, then you're kind of just blindly loyal to them. Which, it seems like Zeke is on our side and does have some kind of plan that is probably good. But it's... You know what I mean?
The thing is, she's not 100% wrong. If you're a fundamentalist Eldian, like, and you are like a believer in the whole, not just a believer, obviously it happened based on all evidence that we've been presented, but, like, if you follow that as a religion, then Zeke literally is like he has that divinity in him. He has the royal blood, which was blessed with the powers of Ymir and stuff like that. So or the powers of God placed in Ymir. Anyway.
It's interesting.
So, yeah, we talked over the whole scene, but, like, we were just talking about how it seemed weird that Eren looked surprised that he just, I'm just remembering this crazy revelation that I had last year when I was receiving this award for, like, you know...
Well, he might also be surprised that other people, like, figured it out other than him.
I don't think so. Like, genuinely, I don't know what the deal with this look is, but that's not, oh shit, everyone's... Well, maybe it is, actually. I remember. It's like he's staring off into space, like, trying to figure it out. Or like, oh my god, I just remembered I tapped into the memories, and oh yeah,
well,
I
maybe
remember
he
this
had
thing
never
with the royal blood.
considered using it like with another
That's
Titan,
true. That's
or
true.
he had never considered an option other than Historia, which was obviously not an option.
But he's like, he's telling the truth. I remember. Regardless, that's not important whether I think that that's a weird face to put on. It doesn't matter. It is interesting though that he came out with it. That like
Yeah.
he revealed the secret. That's what's interesting about it. That like and he fully says why he kept it a secret. Because Levi's like, well, if you knew this from the beginning, why the fuck are you telling us now, like a year after,
Yeah.
dude? Like, you can't just withhold information. He's like, oh, I didn't know what was gonna happen. If you guys knew, what were you gonna do to Historia or me? Were you gonna force me to eat Historia? Because you don't want Historia to eat me, because then she'll just be the king again. And so, like, I was worried about her safety, and and everyone seemed to accept that, which is fair.
Yeah.
Because I think people still, it's funny, like the other military people still kind of look at Eren like he's a monster, and yeah,
I mean,
it's just interesting because he like fully is a hero in the walls. Like he fully is a hero. He's saved people and killed, but like,
well, especially all of this is years before what we just saw happen
100%,
as well.
yes.
So there's no like question as to even his morals really, because all he's
from
done
a public perspective, yeah, because he's obvious, and that's another thing we could talk about that. He's like brimming beneath the surface with all this, like sort of he's clearly resolving himself in this time before everything that happened in Liberio. He's like sort of digesting all of this like slowly. He kind of has digested it, and you could tell those thoughts are brimming like beneath the surface, and it's like, but also not. It's also like I said, it's also like he just, nothing's changed. This is exactly what he's been saying since the beginning. This whole idea of there are some things you just have to do. There's some times where you just have no choice, and the only way to live is to fight. And he literally repeats it, like the way he's looking in the mirror. That's exactly the speech that he gave when he was closing the wall, closing the hole in Trost, and saving everyone. That first humanity victory, that moment where like every battle humanity had fought, that the Eldians had fought in the walls, had been a fucking losing battle because they were just victims of a world that they couldn't possibly understand because they had their memories wiped. They had been like trapped and put down in their memories forever, and they finally won. And it was because they had the will to fight and sacrifice. They had the resolve to sacrifice everything just for this one moment of victory, and it worked. And it's because they fought and they won and they survived. Well, it's the exact same logic, only this time it's not titans, it's people. That's it. That's the only difference. And yeah, dope as shit.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Also, Gabi is not in a good spot.
Yeah, except she doesn't have a Mikasa to like punch her in the face when she's getting a little too crazy.
Yeah,
you know?
Falco is
like Armin. More
he's
like,
just like, he has a more understanding of it than her, but he doesn't really have a way to help her.
He doesn't have the answers.
Yeah, he doesn't
have another answer. He just knows the answer. He just wants to protect her. He doesn't even. I don't know if he's really thinking about the answer. He's like, how do we get out of this alive? How do we like? How do I save Gabi?
Yeah, but. Yeah,
what do we do?
Just rough
like, what the fuck do you do?
They're literally just trapped there.
You're
they can't do
POWs
anything.
in a foreign country, like prisoners of war, literally.
And they're just they literally pretty much can't do anything.
What do you think's gonna happen to them?
I don't know. I mean, like Zeke literally got told, like, you know, if your plan is good, sure, they can come out, I suppose. But they also like are not trusting all the former Marlians now because they have Zeke there.
What do you think their full plan is? We don't know yet.
We don't know.
I don't really know.
Well, they said that their plan was, I think, like, if they have the power of both, then theoretically they could get the Titans out of the wall, and.
But what then?
But yeah.
stomp on the world, like just put into action,
Or just
detonate
have
a
that
bomb,
threat
like
actually there.
start the rumbling and then just freeze them into walls again, just to remind everyone.
I don't know.
A grim reminder that humanity was stuck in a bird cage.
Like,
is that it? I don't know.
I mean, because like literally actually stomping everyone and destroying everything would not be that great of an answer.
Just to be clear, when I say I don't know, that's not me like guessing, but like I kind of have an idea. I don't know what the plan is.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've only read like a couple chapters after this, so I don't know what the fucking plan is. I don't know where this is going. I don't know what Zeke is planning. Eren and Zeke clearly want to meet up.
Mm-hmm.
And Levi isn't letting him. Like, he's like keeping him away for now until things get settled.
He also has to make sure that Zeke can't just turn into a Titan, because when he does that, he can just make random people Titans.
We don't know how he does that.
We don't know how he does that, but we know he can do that.
Yeah.
So that's not a good thing to just and like they don't know how he does that either.
Yeah.
But they know that it happened. So putting him away from everyone in like a bunker is probably a good option.
And the hotel was just the fucking forest of big ass trees where they caught Annie. Seemingly where they caught Annie. The entrance looked similar because we saw them enter back in season 1, and it looked about the same as this one. It's just crazy to recontextualize that location where like dozens of people fucking died, like 100 soldiers died brutally, and now it's just where they live.
Yeah, we
crazy.
also don't really know what necessarily happened to Zeke to like fully get him to change his mind. Like,
yeah,
because he was like one of the most brutal and asshole-ish person before that. You know,
he was fully on Marley's side when like he turned in Grisha and his mom.
Yeah.
And he was a kid. A lot can happen in 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. 10, I guess now 12 years. A lot can happen in 12 years. So
yeah.
We don't know.
Like, Grisha and his mom were kind of crazy and being like not very good to their own child. However,
did he say something about memories maybe that we just missed? Because maybe that's it.
Yeah, maybe he just like found out.
Maybe he just remembered shit about the previous Beast Titan or about his dad or something. I don't know, because he fucking he has royal blood and he has the power of the Titan, so he possibly can tap in better than say Armin to like those memories and shit. So
yeah, like Armin got asked about it and he said that there wasn't really much use in Bertolt's memories.
Yeah, one thing that's interesting about thank you for reminding me of that. One thing that's interesting about Armin, so his whole thing is that's how. So real quick, Armin has been recapping, like at least in season 1, he was recapping everything in season 2 and 3, I think. Whenever they would give a preview and there's the narrating, we haven't been watching the preview, so I don't know if it's still doing it. But in the manga, it would just be narrator. In the anime, they chose Armin's voice actress to do this. And I don't know what that means, but that wasn't my main point. What was my main point? Oh, it was Armin talking about, when he was talking about the memories and shit, he's saying, he was talking about negotiating and, like, working through it and talking it out. So, and he, obviously, he inherited Bertolt's memories. Bertolt, so I think this is connecting all the way, this idea of negotiation and talking things out, I think connects all the way back to Marco, when the last thing that Marco said after Annie, Bertolt, and Reiner ripped his gear off and just left him for dead. They said, he's just like screaming out, they look back and they share one last look, and Marco's like, after screaming and begging for his life, don't leave me, please don't leave me. He's like, takes a deep breath and he's like accepting his death and about to get eaten by the Titan. And they share this one last look, and then Marco's just like, we didn't even get a chance to talk this out. We didn't even get a chance to negotiate. And then the doubt hits the Titan 3, and then especially Reiner is like broken by that, and Bertolt, that really sticks with him. And the guilt obviously really weighed heavy on him. And then in the final battle of season 3, when Bertolt was going to like bomb everything, he was getting thrown out. He broke out because he saw Reiner, and then he got in a fight with Mikasa and started negotiating with Armin because Armin was like, Bertolt, let's talk this out. And then Bertolt obviously wasn't willing to talk it out really. He did, but he just said like, okay, the only way that this is going to go is if you all die and you give up Eren. That's it. So you guys all have, I'll negotiate, but the terms are you have to die. And then obviously Armin ate Bertolt, and now he's talking about negotiations, stuff like that. It's sort of this thing of, I don't know how that applies to everything, because obviously Bertolt's negotiation wasn't very in good faith, I guess. But it's just interesting that after all that, Armin is the one now talking about negotiation.
Well, I mean, it makes
fits
sense.
with his character.
Yeah, because Armin just in general, like we've talked before of like if someone has to pull the trigger, he'll do it. But it's probably not his it's not his first choice.
Definitely not. That's a last resort.
But we talked about that before. Like he's always planning, coming up with the ideas and this and that and the other thing. But he's not actually afraid to act on it if he has to be the one to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But since it isn't his first choice, and he also kind of it seems like he's feeling responsible for a lot of what's happening, and also he got pretty much brought back from the dead before. So he you know what I mean? It's like he's in this super weird position where he got brought back and now he has to do what needs to be done, continue to do what needs to be done. But also then there's someone like Eren who he thought he knew really well, who's like doing all this other shit. And they have to go help, but then he's like, we went to go help and the worst thing happened, but it would have happened whether we did or didn't go to help.
They would have come to
and
us.
What can you do about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Annie's still in there. We were talking about Annie like last episode or something.
Interesting, they're reincorporating her. I don't know what that's about. They're just showing her again.
I wonder if she would come out, like, if Zeke like went in there or something, or if you could somehow call her out of there, because it seems like she is more in like a hibernation state rather than in there. It's
also, we don't know how you wake somebody up from that.
Well, we don't know, but who knows if
the only other time we've seen that is the Warhammer Titan.
Mm-hmm.
But they were awake, so either Annie's just been in there awake, and pretending to be asleep, or I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Either she's in there, like, awake, but she would be, like, long gone at this point. She would probably be completely messed up if she had been awake the entire time. But if she was asleep, or in, like, some kind of sleep-like state, maybe, potentially, they could wake her up. Like, maybe Zeke by himself could wake him up, or Zeke plus Eren could wake her up.
Otherwise, they'd need the Jaws Titan in order to crack the crystal,
so
either
way, she's in there.
Do you think that I think she's going to be woken up.
I think she'll be woken
before
up.
the end of the series. Annie will be a part of the story again. I guarantee it, because there's no way that you show us Annie again, like and not, it's Chekhov's Annie. You show Annie in the first act, it'll have to be fired by the third act.
Yeah, I don't know what they'll do with her, because I don't know, depending on what she's been going through while in this cocoon, basically, for years at this point. Would be interesting to see how she acts. Like, she wakes up, and... Or she could die in there. She could wake up and be dying.
They could wake her up and then just steal her Titan power.
Either or, but it seems like less likely that they would do that. It seems that if she woke up, they would want to talk to her first, because they did know her. Armin is already trying to talk to her, wishing that she would just get out of there. But it's hard to say what she wouldn't want to fight. Maybe she would.
She'd probably be fucking scared. Like, what I'd be interested is her talking to Eren, because she, like, I think it's understated or not really understood that, like, Eren and Annie clearly had, like, a romantic thing going in their training. Like, not full on, because, like, romance obviously isn't a big part of this series, but there was clearly some sort of rapport between them, or attraction, or something, or mutual understanding at the very least. Obviously, Annie taught Eren to fight, and took special interest in him because she was kind of inspired by him, and that was taken into when she was in the military police in Stowehouse when she met Marlo, and Marlo was gonna try and shoot the fucking high-ranking military police because they were selling government property, and beat the shit out of him while he was trying to intervene. She was like, I'm not opposed to helping you out with that, because I know another guy who is like crazy enough to want to change the world, and you know, maybe that's the right thing to do. But now seeing how Eren has changed and like what he's gone through, I wonder what she'll think, and I wonder like if they get to talking, what will she think? What will that do to her? Because she's clearly way different than she was portrayed in season 1. She put up a big fucking wall, especially after seeing her in the flashback. Like, she is a mess on the inside, and we saw glimpses of that in season 1. But like, she's way more fucked up and is affected by things a lot deeper than she was willing to lead on in season 1. So I'd be interested to see a truth face-to-face conversation, one with Annie's wall down, face-to-face with Eren, who's now changed, like how interesting that would be. Anyway, I'd be interested in that. That's gonna be cool as shit when that comes about. Or they might literally just wake her up, eat her, have somebody eat her, and then whatever.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to say with this show what they might do, but it would be interesting to get to see her perspective as someone who's been kind of out of it and was on the enemy side, and then like had relationships or like towards these people that she was with for years, and then like betrayed them and did her own thing, but then it didn't work out.
Betrayed them?
Like went forward with her original plan, like her Marleyan plan of capturing Eren. But
what are you saying?
I'm saying Annie, same with Bertolt and Reiner, came in there, realized that these people were all people, but then still did. So she, like Reiner, at this point, he has a totally different perspective where he's
very reluctant.
He's like still technically on Marley's side, but knows that they are also people, and therefore doesn't just want to kill all of them. What were you gonna say?
The only reason that I think Annie was going along with it was because of her dad.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She was even like more reluctant from the start. So it would be interesting to see her perspective if she just came out of there.
And now her dad's dead, by the way. So there's nothing tying her to Marley anymore. There's no reason for her to go back. It's just depending on whether they will forgive her or whether they will just, eat her. Just because it's out of pure utilitarianism. Annie's going to die soon. And we can't fully be assured of her loyalty or account on her being on our side 100%, because she did kill dozens, if not hundreds of us at one point. So why don't we just feed her to somebody else? That's totally possible. They can't do it to Mikasa because Mikasa has no Eldian blood in her whatsoever. Because she's half Asian and half Ackerman, who are immune to the memory wipe. Maybe Ackermans are part Eldian. Maybe they could be turned into Titans. But
they're all still in there. We never seen one.
But we know that Ackermans were like superhuman soldiers who were guarding the king and could not be memory wiped. That's why they were so dangerous. So.
But if they couldn't be memory wiped, I wonder if they could still be a Titan but retain their memory.
I don't think so. No. I don't think so. I think that part of being a Titan is that's just locked in. That's totally off topic.
I was going to say something else.
About Annie?
Oh, also, we're getting to the point where, like,
what?
Eren is becoming less of a... Like, you can't really just keep stacking everyone up inside Eren, because his time is like getting close to the end as well.
What does he have, like 5 years left?
Which is like somewhat of a long time, but not like that long. But I mean, the whole time period in itself is not very long to begin with.
It's long enough to end a war.
Yeah.
If you have all the Titan powers, if he like goes forward with like collecting them all, gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all, and then just keep Zeke separately, just for the. But I mean,
we also don't know what happens if he devours, like, royal Marleyan's spinal fluid. If he will get access to it, but he's not of royal blood, therefore he doesn't change. Like he doesn't take on the first king. Like if he were to eat Historia, would he get her spinal fluid in her blood and stuff and have that attribute without it fully being able to take over his psyche? I don't know. There's a lot of like weird science fiction sort of intertwinings with all the mystical shit. So it's
you know what I was also thinking? We didn't talk about this. What was that guy's name? The guy who cooked the food for Sasha?
Niccolo.
How shitty they were treating him at the grave. Like a total, like...
Again, a military policeman.
Again, them basically becoming the people that they don't like of, oh, this person's a different race than me, so let's kick the shit out of them.
Yeah, what are you doing here?
While they're at the grave for someone that they deeply cared about. Like, you know what I mean? And it's the exact same shit of, I'm sure in Marley, if a Marleyan died or whatever, and then an Eldian was at the grave, then they'd kick the shit out of them. You know what I mean? It's the same thing.
It's exactly the same. There's literally no difference.
And of course, all these like military police higher up officials just even still don't see, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just interesting.
Oh, one thing I wanted to postulate is that what if the Curse of Ymir isn't even real?
That I had also been wondering that, except
everyone's acting like it's 100% real. We haven't seen anyone die after 13 years. What if it's just a way of like keeping it fresh and not letting someone get too comfortable with their power? I imagine it is real.
However,
because the king kept doing it.
Yeah, but we also saw we've seen people who have been Titan shifters for a long time like becoming physically ill.
That's true.
And
with Eren Kruger and with Uri.
Yeah.
We saw them both get all fucked up. So maybe it is. But maybe it's just growing pains. Maybe after that they like get over it. I don't know. Or maybe they could like stick through it if they had the right science or the right something.
Yeah. I tend to believe it because we've seen people seemingly experiencing symptoms from it.
But what if you eat somebody else's Titan, then the clock resets?
That's also what I had been wondering. If it's stackable, like if Eren...
if Eren has 5 years and Galliard had, or no, I guess he would get 13 more years because he ate it in that case. If it's stacked.
Or just like, if you take in a new, because it doesn't stack necessarily like, oh, this person had this many years left, so now you only have that many years, but just like, if it resets when you got another Titan. I don't know. I'd been wondering that as well.
Yeah, because like we've only seen people who have.
We've never seen anyone die. Exactly. Titan power.
Eren's been the only person with one Titan power, so, and he got both from his dad. So in one fell swoop, he got the Attack Titan and the Founding Titan at once. So, but now he has the Warhammer Titan as well. And we don't know how that's going to affect him. But Eren sure is going to act like he has 5 years to live. Or less. If he was 10, I guess he would be. Then 5 years, he was 15. Then we'll say like a year and a half. And then 3 years. Wait. So like, yeah. 4 years. 4 years, we'll say.
Which is barely longer than all the other, like, we're coming to the near the end of this here. And then what happens if you stacked up all the Titans, like if you stacked up all the Titans into one person and then just every 13 years, one person ate that other one person, and you just fucking pray that there's no royal blood in there, or so, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what can you...
I mean, technically speaking, all aliens must be born from royal blood at some point. It's just stronger in the royal bloodline. So maybe if one person holds all the Titans, that the little bit of royal blood in there will, like, be amplified, or, like, I don't know. Maybe that's getting a little bit too crazy.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Because I've also been wondering, like, how can you tell who has, like, who, like...
It's just known. It's just
I
known.
guess it's just known, but, like, what if there was several illegitimate children along the way, or there was literally people in Marley with royal blood confirmed.
Some people don't know, but it's just, like, you just know by being a person with royal blood and knowing that you have royal blood, and then either people do forget, nobody knew, that, you know, Dina or Dinah had royal blood, so anyway.
Interesting.
I think that's all we have to say about the episode. It was
I think so.
Crazy episode, cool talking episode. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.